Welcome back to another episode of our Kings related podcast, wherever you may be. And this post game recap of the Sacramento Kings 123 to 119 victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers. And yes, with no Sabonis, Levine, Laravia, the Sacramento Kings just defeated the 56 win Cleveland Cavaliers in what was arguably the most impressive and best win of the season. As the Kings now improved to 2-0 on this 7-game homestand, 2 straight wins to follow it. The last game against Memphis, just impressive all around. And the way this game started, it did not look like this was going to be a great game, because in that first quarter, the Kings shot 3 of 22 from the field. But at the end of the first, they were only down 7 points. 22-15 at the end of the end of the first quarter. They had a couple of 3-point makes at the end that really helped that too. Like, they were 1 of 11 from the field, 3 of 12 from 3. They had 3 assists and 3 turnovers in that first quarter. It was just incredible. At halftime, it was a better second quarter, but at halftime, the Kings trailed the Cavs 56-47 at the half. And I gotta say, I loved the fight the Kings showed in that second quarter to get back in the game. Well, the Kings' poor shooting in that first half, and from that first quarter, and from the first half in general, they did not let that deter them to get them down. They kept fighting, and that's what I love. And the Kings' defense, they were energetic on the defensive end, active all night, like what we saw in that game against the Memphis Grizzlies. And that's even though that they had a horrible shooting start in that first quarter. So, and I think it was mostly the rookie Devin Carter who had himself a career night in this game. Devin Carter was spectacular in this game, and we'll get into that in his game here coming up. But this was a gutsy performance, best win of the season. Again, no Sabonis, no Zach LaVine, no Laravia, no problem. Like, the Kings, they gave this 56-win Cavs team all they could handle tonight at the G1C, and they improved to now 35-33 on the season, still 9th in the Western Conference in that play-in spot. But just an incredible performance by the Kings in this game. And the Kings in that second half, 76 points in that second half. They also shot 68% 8% in that second half. Incredible, despite the horrible shooting that they had early on in this game. Just some of the highlights from this game. Another 20-point game from DeMar DeRozan as he is closing in on another milestone in his NBA career. 25,000 points for his career as he's closing in on that feature. And it won't take long to get there the way that he's been scoring the basketball here as of late for the Kings. DeMar, 10 of 19 from the field, 27 points, 4 assists, and he also came up huge in clutch time for the Kings in the fourth quarter. Like DeMar DeRozan, Mr. Clutch in this game. And as I mentioned, the Kings couldn't buy a basket in that first quarter. Ball just moving side to side in that first. Again, 3 of 22 in that first. But as it takes, it usually only takes one player to get things started. And Malik Monk started hitting threes. And after Malik Monk scored 28 points in that last game against Memphis, Malik Monk, in this game, he finished with 22 points. He was 4 of 6 from 3, and he had 8 assists in this game. Just another nice game from Monk. He also had a pretty huge block late in this game in the fourth for Sacramento. So let's talk. In my opinion, the star of this game is the rookie Devin Carter, who absolutely brought that energy off the Kings bench. Devin Carter, in my opinion, I think he's shown some improvement here as of late. Lately here late in the season, and he was aggressive, especially in that third quarter. Devin Carter in that third quarter, 10 points, career high for points for Devin. He was 3 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from long range. He had two steals in 7 minutes of action for Devin Carter. He finished this game with a career best 16 points, 5 rebounds. He had 3 steals in this game, and he brought a whole lot of energy off that Kings bench. And 10 of those 16 points, as I mentioned, were in that third quarter for Devin. And I think a lot of that energy came from that second unit for the Kings. I really like how they went small. Doug Christie went small. You had Trey Lyles at the 5 for the Kings, give more little versatility to switch, move things around. So nice job, JV, who got the start, who's going to get the start now that Sabonis is out. The big man, he brings his hard hat every single game, and just like Sabonis, he's filling in as the starter again. And JV, he fed up that Cleveland front court in this game, and he finished with a 12-point, 13 rebound, double for JV. So he's picking up the slack for Sabonis while he is out. Trey Lyles, another shout out, not just the rookie Devin Carter, but Trey Lyles, complete game. And Trey Lyles, he's getting a chance here to play some extended minutes now with Sabonis now as that small ball 5. He's playing that 4. But Trey Lyles, 13 points in this game. He had 8 rebounds. He also dished out 5 assists in this game. So Trey Lyles doing it both offensively and the defensive side of the floor, playing that 4 and 5 position for the Sacramento Kings. And Keon Ellis, even though Keon Ellis, he was in foul trouble most of this night, he had an impact on this basketball game. And then Keegan Murray hit some triples. Both Keon and Keegan Murray took turns defending Donovan Mitchell, and at times you had Keegan Murray not just defending Donovan Mitchell, but also Evan Mobley in this game, and that just shows you the versatility that Keegan Murray is showing in him as a defender in this league. But both Keon and Keegan, they both took turns from long range from 3 in this game, and they combined to score 26 points, 6 of 10 from 3, and they also provided a tremendous amount of defense for the Sacramento Kings in this basketball game. Just all around, like from a poor shooting night to the way the Kings finished this game. I didn't think that this game was going to end up pretty well with the way the Kings started this game. And also, I just want to give a shout out. Doug Christie. Doug Christie left the rookie Devin Carter, who coming in had 0 clutch time minutes. He left Devin Carter in this game to close it out against one of the best teams in the NBA, the best team in the East in Cleveland. And that was a gutsy move. Paid off because Devin Carter was huge for the Kings, both defensively and on the offensive end. This was Devin Carter's first NBA clutch time minutes in his career. Just incredible performance by the Kings. Again, 76 points by the Kings in the second half for 68% shooting. Just phenomenal job. And like just the scoring from, like, you had a Monk, DeRozan, Keegan, just incredible. And you got a Cleveland team on a second half of back-to-back. 3 games in 4 nights, have now lost 3 straight after just winning 15 games in a row. And this is a good Cleveland team with Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, those twin towers there in the middle, DeAndre Hunter, Ty Jerome, who's been playing incredibly well for them. Ty Jerome, not a great night for the Cavs off that bench, but this was a gutsy best win of the season for the Sacramento Kings. And when the injury report came out today, and it said that Zach LaVine was going to miss this game for personal reasons, and LaRavia was going to miss it because of an illness, I thought, and with Sabonis already out, I thought, boy, this was going to be a long night for the Kings. But I said to myself, I just hope the Kings make this competitive and make this a competitive game. And if you're in it in the fourth quarter, go steal it. And after that horrible shooting first quarter, the Kings they got back to what they do best. They did not let that horrible shooting performance in the first do them away in this game. And they held toe-to-toe with one of the best teams in the league. Just incredible. And now one of my biggest concerns is tomorrow night when you're facing a not so great Chicago Bulls team who will be also on a second night of a back-to-back because the Bulls were in Phoenix tonight and they lost in Phoenix by 6 after an emotional, thrilling win against one of the best teams in the league. My biggest fear is tomorrow, don't have that letdown. The way the Kings play tonight, come out and do it again tomorrow. You are 2-0 on this homestand, 2 straight wins. Can you make it 3-0 to start this homestand? It would be incredible for this Kings team. So, again, you got the Chicago Bulls in tomorrow night as they lost tonight in Phoenix. And with that Phoenix win, the Phoenix Suns are now number 10 in the Western Conference. They leapfrogged the Dallas Mavericks, who the Mavs, they lost tonight after leading the Indiana Pacers after 3 quarters. And after Dallas scored 40 points in the fourth quarter, the Dallas Mavericks managed to lose that game. And with that loss to Indiana, the Dallas Mavericks are now in 11th in the Western Conference, out of that play-in at the moment. So you're going to see a whole lot of movement. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's a bad loss. The Minnesota Timberwolves, a bad loss at home to the Pelicans. They drop to 8th in that play-in, and the Clippers they jump to 7th in the Western Conference play-in tonight. So, and then you got the Denver Nuggets losing in LA to the Lakers. No Jamal Murray, no Jokic again tonight for the Nuggets. And the Lakers, they beat Denver. The Portland Trailblazers, they beat the Memphis Grizzlies in Portland. Another loss for Memphis. Back-to-back losses for them. The New York Knicks, that's a bad loss for the Knicks on the road in San Antonio. In the Cooper Flag Invitational, you had the Utah Jazz beating the Washington Wizards. And you had the Houston Rockets, who have now won 8 straight games. At the NBA leading 8 straight games. They beat the Orlando Magic tonight. And then down in South Beach, you had Cade Cunningham calling game with a game-winning three as the Detroit Pistons, they beat the Miami Heat down in South Beach. And folks, if you have not been watching that Detroit Pistons team, put some respect on that Pistons team. That is a good young Pistons team. So put some respect on that Pistons team. So, but the Kings, after a horrible shooting first quarter, they fought. They pulled out a gutsy one against the best team in the Eastern Conference, in the Cleveland Cavaliers. Overall, the Kings from the field tonight, 50% from the field. They shot 45% from three in this game. The Kings, they made their free throws in this game. 93% free throws in this game. The Kings, they did out-rebound Cleveland in this by 4. And the Kings, 23 points off of Cleveland's 12 turnovers in this game. I just can't say it enough. Just an incredible win for the Sacramento Kings. And since Zach LaVine's debut, the Sacramento Kings are now 8-1 when they have at least 28 assists. And tonight you had Monk, who had 8 assists. You had Trey Lyles with 5. You had DeRozan with 4. You had both Keegan and Devin with 3. You had JV and Keon Ellis, each have 2. And then you had Markelle Fultz, who also contributed with 1 assist. So just an incredible game by the Sacramento Kings in this game as they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 123-119 in this game. And they're back at it tomorrow night. Second night of a back-to-back against the Chicago Bulls. And the good thing is, both the Bulls and Sacramento, they will both be on a second night of a back-to-back. Fortunate for the Kings, no travel for them, but the Chicago has to come in from Phoenix. So, no, the way you played tonight, do it again tomorrow night. Let's make this a 3-0 homestand tomorrow night. So, Kings win. They are now 35-33 on the season. 2 games over 500. And they welcome in Chicago tomorrow night. And an old friend in Kevin Herto, who will play his first game back in Sacramento since being traded. So, thanks for tuning in to this episode of our Kings-related podcast and the post-game recap. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below in the YouTube comments. Be much appreciated. And if you're listening on your preferred audio platform, Apple, Spotify, please hit that follow button, rate 5 stars, leave a review. Be much appreciated. And we're also available wherever else you may get your podcasts. And Kings win. They just beat a 56 win Cavs team. And we're back at it tomorrow when we'll have another post-game recap tomorrow following Bulls and Kings. Go Kings and light the beam.